Hello and welcome back to Living Not Existing. As always, I'm Josh, and well, as you can probably see, I'm in the greenhouse doing this, and that's pretty much because my van is knackered. Well, sort of knackered. I've been trying to fix it all weekend with plenty of help from my dad, and it's a massive thank you to him. I'll say that now as well, because basically what's happened is it's had a bit of a water leaky problem for the past couple of months or so. And we've sort of been trying to get around to getting it sorted, but it's been alright just keeping on top of topping it. It's just a little tiny sort of water leak. And then basically this week it's just had a massive fit, and then it just decided that all the water was wanting to be out all the time, and water was coming out as fast as it was going in. So I was just having to coax it to and from work and topping it up all the time. But unfortunately it's just knacked. And then yesterday on Saturday, me and my dad made a start to getting it sorted out, and found that one of the water housings on the side of the engine was snapped in two. So it had a big crack in it, and then obviously when taking it off, found it was actually in two. So obviously that was where the water was leaking out of when having a bit of a look at it. So managed to, luckily yet again, thanks to my mate Simon Lee from Simon Lee Conversions, he had some spare parts kicking about for a T4 engine, so managed to rob one of those parts off of an engine that was sat around the side, right round inside his unit and stuff like that. So I managed to rob a couple of parts off of there and get that put on yesterday, and then topped it with water, and it was still coming out as fast as it was going in. So we're like, oh god, typical. So I had to call it a day yesterday because I had another gig last night, and so there was that, and then so we've gone back there today and spent the full day on it again, and give it a bit of a service as well, put a new oil and filter on it, just a bit of maintenance for it. But found out that it's actually another water housing on the front, which was the main thing we were doing again today, trying to replace that. So luckily Simon again had that part that I needed, so I managed to get that part, put that on, and then so the actual water leak should be fixed. So then topped it up, drove from my dad's unit back to home, not too far from the allotment site, and it was boiling over again. So it seems to be that it's the engine's not very good and it's a bit knackered. So hopefully though that the boiling over reason was it had an airlock in the water system from it having all stuff changed about. So fingers crossed once it's cooled down. I'm letting it cool down now, hence why I haven't driven down here now, because hence why I'm in the greenhouse. So I'm letting it cool down. I need to top it up with some more water, and then all being well and fingers crossed, it should be okay. So to see how things go on that front, but fingers crossed I don't need a new engine for my van. But so obviously because of which I've not been able to get down here on the allotment all weekend and get a load of stuff done. So it's actually now it's nearly 5:30 on Sunday. So I'm down here now, just about to get started, trying to do a little bit of summit just to try and catch up a bit really, because didn't get much done last weekend and haven't got anything done this weekend as of yet. So yeah, but I have got quite a few new things which I'm going to show you in a second. So I suppose that's it really for in here, so I might as well jump outside and show you all the new stuff, because there's some very new exciting things I've now got. So yeah, I'll see you outside. Right, so I'm now outside, and as you can see, I've managed to get a rotavator, as well as there's that new rake that I was telling you about, just I think it was in the last video, might have been the one before. But yeah, so I've finally got a rotavator now, which is a nice little pick I managed to find on that Facebook marketplace, and I actually managed to finally get something from there. It wasn't sold already, which is quite nice. So yeah, so I'm going to be, it all runs, it's working and everything, so I'm going to be having a bash at trying to use that in a minute, is the idea, and try and have a go of rotavating and see if I can manage to start getting the herb garden area sorted out at the least, and just have a go at getting it sorted, because I need to desperately start rotavating all of this lot, as well as obviously the rest of the plot, but I'm going to start rotavating all this. And the idea is for the herb garden area of where I'm going to put it is just this sort of square area here, sort of alongside from the actual bush. There'll be you can see the path there, so I'm going to put a path all the way going up to that bush, and have that area separate without crops growing on, or if there is crops there, they're going to be in pots and stuff, and have that paved over as part of the plan, because as I think I've said before, I want to have a big shed up here. Is the idea of the plan of having things sorted out there. But yeah, so that's my rotavator that I've got, so that's one of the new things. And when I was getting that, I was talking to a lovely couple that I got it from, and just got talking about the allotment and stuff like that. And they said, oh, well, there's some more stuff if you'd like it. And I was just talking to them about water containers is one of the things I needed. And they had these couple of bins, so I've just got these bins off them as well, which is quite nice. And then talking to them further, it was unfortunately the guy's father had died, and one of the things that he grew in his garden was rhubarb. And so when I was talking to them, they were an older couple, and they quite fancied having a bit of the rhubarb, and they were offering me the plant if I wanted it. So what I did for them is I dug it up, and as you can see in there's a load of rhubarb ready to get planted. And I actually split the rhubarb plant in two, so they got to keep a bit of their dad's rhubarb plant, because unfortunately, as I say, he passed away. And so yeah, so they got to keep a bit, and they gave me the other half as well, which was really nice. So I've now got a rhubarb plant which I need to get planted in sooner than later, because it's just sat in the mud that it was in the bottom of there. But yeah, so that's that for the rotavator side of things. But then, as I was just saying about the big shed that I'd like to put up there, obviously that was a plan, and then of things that I've been wanting to do, but I've been struggling with the Facebook Marketplace to be able to get anything. And then a stroke of luck this week, someone posted something up, and my dad had sent it through, and I was like, yeah, try and get it. And it was actually someone that he knew through someone else, so it's like a friend of a friend. So as I said at the start, it's not what you know, it's who you know. And I've now finally managed to get my massive shed, and as you can see on the trailer there, it is massive, and obviously in flat pack form, and it's a big metal garage is what it is. So that's going to be the plan of putting that up over there, to which I'm going to have to build a bigger, better raised base for it. So that's going to be a project for in a couple of weeks time. I think it's probably going to end up being for getting the base built over there, and then getting that all built back up on top of it. But so I'm really happy that I finally got that. And then another thing that happened this week was, at work, I managed to acquire another one of these big pallets, like that one that I've got over there that I got before. Got another one of them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to be putting that side by side and using it for the base for the flat pack shed that I got from Simon again. So there's that. And I've also, as you can see there, got a couple more doors which I got from my neighbour Dave, which is rather nice. So that's going to be coming in handy when it comes to building another greenhouse. Is the idea to use them, and then also all the windows and the doors that are over there as well. And then, yet again, another thing that happened this week that I managed to acquire was, woke up one morning and then looked out the curtains, and there was a groundworks business shotting a load of wood into a skip, and I was watching thinking, God, it's all brilliant wood that. And then Rachel was saying to me that it looked all rotten, and I was like, no, it doesn't. And I saw them try to snap it, and it turned out it wasn't rotten. So I quickly ran out and got talking to them, and managed to acquire all of this wood that's over here. And as you can see, that lot's all nice big thick fence posts. So that's going to be getting put to use, so hopefully building a fence, and it'll come in handy with building the new bigger chicken hutch, which is going to be going to plan hopefully over here shortly. Once I'm trying to look for some Harris fencing is what I'm looking for to build it out of, which is that type of, if anyone that doesn't know, it's that type of fence you can see there, that type of thing. So looking for some of that, to which I'm then going to be building a pen this sort of size, but basically running alongside that bush. So it's going to be a pretty large pen for the chickens once managed to get that built and everything. So that's going to be another project that's on with things. But I've just come down here and just checking on me chickens tonight. Obviously checked on them this morning and stuff, and they're all good and fine. And then come down tonight, and I've just had a look inside of here, and great news. Just shuffle it forward a bit so I can get in. And then, as you can see, I've got eggs. Got one on that side, and I've got 3 there. You can sort of see the third one just in the straw there. So I'm going to be getting them taken out of there, because they're cold eggs, so they're not sitting eggs either. So I was wondering if you'd maybe get chicks, but they're cold, so I'm going to be taking them out and having them probably for me tea or something like that, or getting them used this week obviously. But yeah, so I finally got my first eggs, which I'm really happy about. So thank you, little chickens, for doing really well on laying your eggs. But yeah, so they're all happy in there anyway and stuff. So so that's it really for updates so far as the things that have gone on. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to make a start, as I said a minute ago, with the herb garden and rotovating. So I'm going to get this metal sheeting and stuff like that moved, and any other stuff that might be dotted about in here that could snag the rotavator. And then I'm going to make a start by turning over some of the soil here, just to make it easier for the rotavator to start doing its work. And then once I've done that, I'll show you that, and then I'll start rotavating. So I'll crack on now on moving these things and giving that a turn over ready, and I'll show you that next. Right, so as you can now see, I've now just turned over a smallish area just for now, just to try things out, and obviously you can sort of see how close the sun is to the roof there. So it's really starting to go away daylight. It's going to very quickly just drop off. I can just tell that it's going to leave shortly. So I'm going to have a go at trying to get this rotavated over and just see how it works really, and just see how it goes. I've never rotavated before, so this is a first for me, and just trying it out really, seeing how it goes. It was cheap enough on the internet, so it was alright. So I'll just see how it goes, as I say. So I've also moved obviously this mesh here that was here, and that's just over there as you can see. But yeah, so I'm going to make a start there and see how far I can get, and just keep working away at trying to get this area done. But it's probably only going to be that corner for today, but we'll see how things go. So I'll make a start on getting that done now. Right, well I just nipped into the greenhouse now just before I started rotavating, and just thought I never showed you how the seeds were doing. So I don't know if people saw on Instagram the other day I posted, but the mustard seeds have started coming through, and then they've massively shot up. So yeah, that's all doing great, as you can see, and they're getting pretty tall as well, which is quite nice. So it's nice to see how they're coming on. So it'd be alright to just keep an eye on them. I think they're only a couple of week plants, so should be pretty alright. I think they're similar growing to cress as far as I've sort of researched and found out so far. So yeah, so that's that. Then the chives, we haven't got anything coming through as of yet, and the same with the coriander. There doesn't seem to be anything coming through, but the basil has sprung up across today. Now I came down and watered these first thing, and the basil wasn't even out, and just across today all of that has happened, which is rather excellent. So yeah, and then the dill doesn't have anything either. And as you can see, I've taken the California Wonder Peppers, which also had the parsley in the seed tray, and I've taken them and put them next to the ghost chilies on my windowsill. So and none of them have actually sprouted through yet. So I'm just waiting for that, for them to sprout through, and then once they do, I'll show you that, be it either a video, or more than likely you probably just see there'll be a post on either Instagram or Facebook or both. So remember as well to check the links out for them down below, because there's little bits and bobs of posts that'll be on there that might not necessarily be covered by video, or it's just little things that'll happen maybe during the week and things that crop up and stuff. So have a check out of that if you want, or just in the link below. But yeah, so that's that anyway with the seeds, and I'm now going to crack on and start rotavating. I've got my rotavator ready, and I just had a little fuel leak on it, but I've fixed that, as just one of the pipes was split, so I very quickly just fixed that. So yeah, I'm going to make a start on doing that now. Right, so that's the first load of rotovating done. Well, the first try at it anyway. And I'll tell you what, in my first experience of a rotavator, I absolutely love it. That is the best thing ever. And I wish I could have rotavated in the past. I would have, like, that would have been amazing rather than doing all that digging on the last plot. But yeah, so absolutely brilliant, that rotavator. And as you can obviously see, it's chopped up bits of weeds that were still in there, but that lot will die off. And anything that sprouts back through, it's obviously just the same as anything. You can just pick them all out, so it's all good like that. But yeah, absolutely brilliant. And the soil now is absolutely just as lovely and fine, just absolutely brilliant. And I could probably even go further than that with it as well, but I don't think I probably should go further. I don't really know. And if anyone wants to let me know, then yeah, I'll really appreciate all your help like that and your suggestions and everything. How to rotovate properly or anything, if there's any particular way you should do things. But yeah, so that's that. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to keep cracking on bit by bit and see how far I can get. So I think what I'll do first is I'm just going to work my way down here and probably just end about here or something for now. Obviously, until I can get all this stuff moved, I need a little bit of a pathway going through. So I'm just probably going to see how far I can get along this bit, and then I'll show you that. Hopefully it's not too dark. Right, so now, as you can sort of see, because the light is closed in a lot more, I've managed to crack on and get some more rotovating done. But just then, all of a sudden, rotavator started making a weird noise, and it was obviously just wasn't getting fuel. And what's actually just happened, I don't think you'll be able to see it, but I'll try and show anyway, is that, you can't really see, but that pipe there has just split off where I had to try and cable tie it on a bit better earlier where it had split, and it's just fully gone. So I'm going to have to get another little piece of fuel pipe for there, so I can then use the rotavator again. But it's getting dark, as you can see. It's actually darker on camera than it is by eye again. But yeah, so I'm going to have to call it a day on that, on the rotavating anyway, and of part of it and everything. So I might, while I can still see now, just turn over a couple more bits. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to start getting the fire sorted and call it a day. Just get some of the bits of weeds that I've sort of gathered up over there, get them burnt off, as well as some left over from last time, which is still kicking about, and just a few bits of wood and rubbishy wood, stuff like that needs to be gone. But yeah, so I'm going to crack on and get that fire sorted and pack up. I'll be taking my rotavator home and everything, because obviously not going to leave it down here or anything like that, because it wouldn't be very safe. But yeah, so I'm going to take that home and get everything packed up and have a fire and call it a day, just due to that fuel leak. Yeah, so that's that, and I'll see you back in the greenhouse in a second. Well, it's come to that time of day again, time to round things up and say goodbye. And as you can obviously see, I'm not back in the greenhouse, I'm in my van. And that's because when I was just tidying things up there and everything, the light just instantly dropped off and you just couldn't see a thing at all. So I've ended up just piling the weeds up for the fire and stuff like that, and not ended up having a fire in the end. And I've just walked back here with my rotavator and stuff, bringing all that back home. But yeah, so that's that all sorted and everything. So I'm happy about the fact that I've managed to get a little bit of that rotavating done and actually get to use my rotavator as well. I'm quite happy with how that worked. Well, very happy with how that works. It's brilliant. I'm never going to be going back from rotavating again. That is absolutely awesome. And if you haven't got one or used one, I would highly recommend using a rotavator. It's brilliant. But yeah, so that's that on the rotavator front. And of course, the chickens, as you saw, finally got eggs. And 4 at that as well, which is awesome. So yeah. But I'm just trying to think if there's anything else really today. That was it. And obviously, I've not got to do anything else this weekend so far, because obviously been working on my van, with great big thanks to my dad again for helping out with everything, and then my mate Simon Lee from Simon Lee Conversions for the couple of parts that I got and everything. But yeah, so hopefully my van's going to be okay. But as obviously I was telling you about earlier, about what happened and stuff like that. So might not be, or it might be. We'll see how things go, and I'll let you know next weekend on the next video, or you might even see on the Instagram or Facebook that it's blown up. So, but touch wood that doesn't happen. But yeah, so that's that for today, really. So thank you all very much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed seeing everything with all the updates and stuff. But yeah, remember to like, comment, subscribe, hit the little bell button, check out the Facebook link below, check out the Instagram link below. And yeah, as always, I'm Josh, and I've been living, not existing. Goodbye.